The Blob Revelations. In this video, I would like to revisit the 1988 film, The Blob. It is a remake of the 1958 film by the same name. It is a 30-year anniversary film. A tiny overview. A discovery of a strange gelatinous substance that melts the flesh of any living creature in its path. I believe that occult symbolism and Masonic messaging is in the films. I'll be going over the characters that stand out, the main theme, as well as I'll be asking two primary questions. Are they sending a message, and did they make a sequel? Now, for the 1958 film, there weren't really any characters that stood out. The film goes by the idea that the Blob is an extraterrestrial creature that came from space. It is defeated by discovering its weakness, which is extreme cold. They were able to freeze the creature, put it in a crate, and drop the crate off in the Arctic or Antarctic regions, a place of indefinite cold. Now, we're going to come back to that. In the 1988 film, it is believed that the creature is the creation of the government. And it is also defeated by extreme cold, in this case, an exploding tanker of liquid nitrogen. Now, there was one character that stood out. That character I would like to be dubbed as the priest. It is my view that the priest starts off as this Catholic Christian priest, and towards the end of the movie, he is badly injured, and the events transform him. And after he survived the events, he was able to take a sample or a piece of the blob and put it in a Masonic jar. Like I said before, the priest transformed, and at the end of the movie, you can see that he is now a Christian evangelical doomsday prophet preacher. And he is preaching about revelations, rapture, and wormwood. These are all very much into the occult of doomsday prophecies. Also reflecting towards the end of the film, there is a camera shot of the preacher looking into the mirror. He reveals himself as having lost one eye, which is an occult symbolism. And also in the same shot, a black woman appears as one of his parishioners, and we have, in this case, a reflection in the mirror, which is the priest with the all-seeing eye and the black woman asking the priest, "When, Reverend, when?" This is a compare and contrast of a union, an interracial couple. Now, as you can see, he holds up the blob in a Masonic jar. Now I'm about to go over all these different symbols and Masonic messaging. You have the all-seeing eye, which is the eye of providence. It is the Illuminati. Its meaning is possibly the perfect God. You have the black woman and the white man in the reflection. That's a union, an interracial couple, which is duality. It's yin and yang, and so on and so forth. You have the blob, in a Masonic jar. This is a representation of the homunculus in the jar, the ghost in the shell, the genie in the lamp, the summoning of a demon. Also, it's a representation of it's AI, it's artificial intelligence that was created. Now, like I said before, it's a 30-year anniversary film. The mirror is a symbol. It's an occult symbol of a portal, of reflecting one's true self, time travel, something that happened either in the past, the present, or the future. This is a 30-year anniversary film. So let's go 30 years into the future from 1988, and you will get 2018. Now, what interracial couple was famous in 2018? And I already did the numbers and looked it up. It was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, married in 2018. An alleged royal Illuminati bloodline family that married and had a union with a black woman. Now, am I saying that from this union will uncover some sort of AI monster that will be unleashed on the world in some sort of biblical revelation? I don't know. It's just there. If I was really reaching, I would go 2 years into the future from 2018, and which would be 2020. And you could say another weird union was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. As we move on, let's see what we can talk about here. Oh yes, I want to bring up the soundtrack. At the end of the 1988 film, it was a song that was called Brave New Love. All right, that's enough of that. And the title of the band's name is Alien. Now, I looked up the cover art for the album, and man, oh man, its description was a large black mountain surrounded by a cold, icy landscape. With also appeared in the art were these UFOs, these discs that were coming from behind the mountain. And I immediately thought this is the direct compare and contrast to the flat earth hypothesis, that there is a black magnetic mountain at the center of the either North Pole or South Pole points that is described as Mount Meru. And we all know the story of Admiral Byrd coming into contact with these craft and this high technology that is there. And I cannot help but think about how in the end of the 1958 film, they dropped off the crate in the Arctic, and here you got the band Alien and its direct description of Mount Meru and flying craft on their album art. So that kind of brings us to, did they make a sequel? So I'll be going over some of the films I believe are kind of related to the main theme. And then I'll give my number one film I kind of believe is the sequel to the 1988 film, The Blob. As you well know, they never made, as of yet, a sequel to the film. But Ghostbusters 2 was a film that featured slime as its main, as one of the themes in the sequel. And that slime was able to somehow have a psychic energy link to the environment. And given whatever the people gave off, whether it was a positive energy or a negative energy, it could in fact animate objects. Okay, in the X-Files, they had the black goo, and here they refer to as an alien virus that thrived underground in the earth in petroleum deposits. The virus is capable of entering humanoids and assuming control of their bodies. It has sentience and is capable of communicating. That sounds very familiar, almost to Prometheus. And in Prometheus, you had the black goo, and its description is a living mutagenic bioweapon created by the engineers. The engineers use it to create life forms and wipe out planets. And you also have some honorable mentions, which I'll get into. Creepshow 2, which is an anthology movie. The second story was The Lake, and it was about an oil slick creature that is discovered in a lake, and it devoured human flesh. You have T2, which was Terminator 2, the cyborg liquid metal T1000. Its primary mission was to, be the super assassin droid. And the key thing about it was its weakness was extreme cold. It slowed it down. It didn't all the way stop it, but it did slow it down. And just like in the Blob, the 1988 film, it was injured by a liquid nitrogen tanker exploding. I guess I'll just jump right into one of the runner-ups, which was The Thing, which was a movie in the 1980s. And it was about a discovery of something found in the ice that turned out to be an alien that took over the bodies of humans and was trying to escape from its Arctic tundra. As you well know, that's almost directly from the ending of the first film, the 1958 film, The Blob, where they dropped off something in a crate in Antarctica. And now for the number one film, I believe, is the sequel to the 1988 film, The Blob. And that is The Prince of Darkness. I believe it is the unofficial sequel to the 1988 film, The Blob. I'll be going over some of the summary of and description of the film, different descriptions of the film. Here's one description. A group of graduate students and scientists uncover an ancient canister in an abandoned church. But when they open the container, they inadvertently unleash a strange liquid and an evil force on all humanity. And here is another breakdown of the plot and The Prince of Darkness. A group of students that are assisting a Catholic priest in investigating an ancient cylinder of liquid discovered in a monastery, which they come to find it being sentient and liquid embodiment of the son of Satan. So that's a very interesting description there. And one more for the icing on the cake. Okay, a priest finds a vial filled with slime. The slime then begins to seep out, turning some of the academics into zombified killers. And large amounts of the liquid become Satan personified. And as you can see, these were all leading directly to the events at the end of the 1988 film The Blob, where you had the Christian evangelical priests preaching about revelation, rapture, and wormwood, and holding up the blob in a Masonic jar as its instrument for fulfilling this prophecy. In conclusion, I do believe that this film had all these things in it. It had Masonic symbolisms. It had occult symbolisms. Are they sending a message? Are they referencing something that happened either in the past, the present, or the future? Or is this just a silly ass B movie from the 80s? Although it did have an anniversary to it, and a lot of money was put into creating this film. And just like John Todd, the whistleblower, who talked about the people in high occult powers were putting in witchcraft and spells on the masters in the music industry, the masters on the albums in the music industry. I believe there's some individuals like that in the film industry. But it was something that I noted. I'm pretty sure maybe even other people pointed it out. Who knows? Tell me what you think. Am I just reaching? Is this all just conspiracy mumbo jumbo? Put it in the comment sections. Get back with me on that. Now, more will come from this channel, and I'm out.